I'm going to show you something that a gentleman who was arrested for committing multiple thefts showed me. His method for committing these thefts was actually so fast and easy that you would probably never think about it. I didn't and had a hard time figuring it out. Listen, if you're a student, if you go to a gym, if you use a lock at all for anything at all, you're going to want to watch this, okay? So I made a video on this exact topic on more than one occasion years ago, and it was a warning for students. There was a guy breaking into other students' lockers and stealing things. What was odd is that you could see him on camera do it with little or no effort at all. He would be walking up and down the hallways. He'd walk up to a locker, multiple locker that had locks, open the locker with each, rummage through them, take what he wanted, which was sometimes even food, believe it or not, close the locker, put the lock back on, and walk on to the next. It was so fast that we couldn't figure out what he was doing watching him on camera. If the person didn't have anything good in their locker or anything valuable, they would not even know that this person was in their locker because he would put the lock back on. Listen, there's a risk of making these videos by raising awareness. Am I encouraging people to do these things, creating even more victims because I'm sharing what the secret is? Or at the time, was I simply doing my job? Crime prevention. I was a school resource officer at the time. Should I say anything at all? If I make a video, could it cause people to lose even more? If I say nothing at all, but know that the crime has taken place, then was I complacent? All right. I'm going to use students for an example because school's back, and unless your school provides a locker, most students have to buy locks for the gym, for the lockers, whatever the case is. Now, I'm not going to show you the face of the lock, what it looks like, but this gentleman knew what locks were from these stores that are sold everywhere because of the face of the lock. Now, here's the thing. I have one here, and I bought it for this demonstration. I just opened the lock. I just opened it like that. I close the lock. I can still use the combination. It still works. There's nothing broken inside. So somebody else walking up, the person whose locker it is at the gym, at school, they're going to go up. They're going to open their lock as usual without even knowing that somebody may have been in their locker. It's that easy. Sometimes you have to pull a little harder, but sometimes it's even easier. Anyways, do not buy a cheap lock. It was that easy. This gentleman would walk up. He knew what the lock looked like. And all he had to do was he would look around and maybe act like he's on the lock for a little bit, yank it down, open the locker, go through. Sometimes you could see him taking something or not, close the locker and move on. That's how easy it was. It's from a cheap lock that are sold everywhere. Listen, folks, I hope you find that information useful. Share it. Be careful. Buy a good quality lock. Until the next video, be safe out there. Look after one another, and perhaps we will see you again.